are closing in on May. Let's talk some ACC baseball on this ACC Now, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Which ACC team or teams do you think can make it to Omaha? Tweet us at the ACCDN. Since we're talking ACC baseball, let's bring in a true expert, John Manuel, the editor for Baseball America. John, thanks so much for joining us. Right now, Louisville leads the pack in the ACC, a 6-game lead. What makes this Cardinals team so good?
You know, Jeff, I think it's a lot of factors, but Dan McDonnell's the number one factor, the coach there. They've gone to the College World Series each of the last 2 seasons before joining the ACC, trying to make it 3 trips in 3 years in 3 conferences. And what Coach McDonnell really instills in that club is just an ethos of hard work and aggressiveness. This is the most aggressive team on the bases. They lead the league by a wide margin in stolen bases. They've got burgeoning stars like Corey Ray. They've got an established Friday ace and the junior Kyle Funkhauser. And then Brandon McKay's got a shot to be the ACC's Freshman of the Year, contributing as a hitter and as a Saturday starter. And then you look at their senior shortstop, Sutton Whiting. So all 4 classes really contribute to this club. Senior leadership down to impact freshmen. There's really not a big flaw with this Louisville team. The
Cardinals 19-2 in the ACC, a 6-game lead over Florida State and Miami. Those 2 schools met up this past weekend. The Noles took 2 of 3. What did you take from that series?
Well, a couple of things. First, it was one dramatic game, 17 innings on Friday, and then 2 blowouts, which kind of surprised me. I thought that would be a little bit more of a touch-and-go competitive series. But Florida State, to me, just, again, the formula to beat the Seminoles, you just have to pound the strike zone. This team's among the national leaders in on-base percentage. And if you throw strikes, you can beat Florida State. Notre Dame showed that by sweeping the Seminoles 2 weeks ago. But when you run around the strike zone and you put ducks on the pond, Florida State's got enough power in that lineup around DJ Stewart to bring home some big runs. And to me, Florida State's got a little bit better team, I think, than Miami does. Miami a little edge going forward, though, with the schedule. They have Pitt left and Georgia Tech, and Florida State still has to play a 3-game series against Louisville up in Louisville, and that's going to be a really tough road to hoe for the Seminoles.
Now, a team I was sure we'd be talking about at this point in the season that could be leading the conference, Virginia. Last year, the national runners-up, but right now struggling 10-14 in the ACC. It's possible the Cavs don't even make the ACC tournament. What has gone wrong in Charlottesville?
It's really shocking, Jeff, because 11 years of Brian O'Connor and his staff there in Charlottesville, 11 NCAA tournament appearances. Obviously last year culminating in making to the College World Series finals. I had a scout tell me that this team is the only team in the country where everybody's wearing youth large uniforms. It's just a very young team. Tons of freshmen all over the field. And right as they get their junior leader, Joe McCarthy, back in center field, kind of the guy who's the bulwark of this lineup, back from a back injury, they lose their Friday night ace, Nathan Kirby, to a lat injury. But even with all the freshmen, even with the injury to McCarthy, the real issue for the Cavaliers this year has been pitching. They lead the league in walks. And they haven't had that many injuries on the pitching mound. It's just really been guys like Connor Jones, Brent Waddell, Josh Spores in the bullpen. They just have walked too many hitters, too many free passes, too many opportunities for the other team, and Virginia hasn't been able to capitalize offensively with such a young lineup to make up for it.
RPI right now at 33. Do you still think they make the NCAA tournament?
Honestly, I think they don't. I don't think they're good enough without Nathan Kirby, and they just haven't pitched well enough to do it. And an opportunity went by the Boars. They led both games against NC State late on Sunday, lost both games of that doubleheader in walk-off fashion. I think that's going to be tough to come back from for a team so young. All
right, we'll see if Brian Connor and the Cavaliers can turn it around. John Manuel, thank you so much. And again, tweet us, who do you think makes it to Omaha at the ACCDN? You're watching the ACC Now, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.